welcome. I'm Lucian, and I'm here with Bob Nunn, the CEO of Everactive. Welcome, Bob.
Hey, thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you for joining. And if you could give a brief overview for our audience, what is Interactive? And we're talking about battery products and how industrial Internet of Things can hinder deployments and value creation today, and how innovation in ultra-low power circuit design and wireless communications that allow sensors to operate solely of energy. Give us a brief overview of Everactive.
So yeah, Everactive, the way to think of us is the company that's generating new data streams. So it's the easiest way. We're doing that with batteryless technology, and it's actually based on a lot of deep technology, even at the semiconductor level. So we have 20 years of research that's powering what we're doing, but we've combined that with integrating in the ability to harvest energy from your environment, to sense new and standard things, and then provide that in a very pervasive sensing manner, very large networks of sensors to go into, and we're focused specifically at industrial targets. The way we provide that to the customer is as a service. So we take all that deep technology and all that hardware, and we bundle it up into a service agreement, and we provide insights on specific assets back to the customer for an annual service subscription.
Got it. So take us to some example of some of the sweet spots and perhaps some focus industry in the industrial market.
Yeah, so we have, as a startup, we have our first product in the market today, which has been out in the market for about a year, and we have about a dozen customers that are Fortune 500 customers using the product today, and that's focused on steam distribution systems. But since that's kind of specialized, I'll talk more about our new product, which is coming out in just a couple of weeks, which is really focused on machine health monitoring. And it's an area that's much more familiar with people. We can all think about the machines that we have and all the different pumps and fans and vibrating equipment. So in this case, we actually are using our technology to harvest energy from the warmth of the machine. You would think it would be the vibration of the machine, but it turns out a machine running well doesn't vibrate enough to generate enough energy. So instead, we're using the warmth. So we can use about a 5-degree temperature differential to power our device. It will run forever. We take data continuously, which is one of the things a lot of battery-powered devices have a problem with, is because they're trying to save the energy of the battery. They cut down on how often they take measurements. We do it every minute. We can actually do it down to every 15 seconds because we're constantly regenerating. It's like filling your car with gas as opposed to having a battery-powered car that runs out and you got to go back and recharge it. So I
got to stop you there for just a little bit. What does that really mean? Are we trading one problem for another with the battery? Can we have a missed reading because the battery may not have enough to charge? Can you explain a little bit deeper there?
Yeah, so the biggest issue our customers describe to us is that the batteries create a new maintenance problem. So a lot of what we're trying to do with automated monitoring is eliminate maintenance and make it much more effective on getting signals when there's a problem. So if you think in terms of thousands of assets that maybe today you go around and you check once a year, if you put batteries on all those thousands of things, you have batteries going dead every day. And you now have to send someone around to go change batteries or to go recharge things continuously. So you are trading off one maintenance problem for another. And our customers have said to us, we simply will not put batteries throughout our factory. It's just not feasible, not economically feasible or the right thing to do. So that's where batteryless, this idea of generating new data streams that were previously thought impossible, that's really where it applies in a big way.
I know there's always action. There's been quite a bit of activity around new solutions on the energy storage and the battery side of it. But is there anyone else out there that's doing something similar?
Yeah, so when we compete at a industrial setting today, it is with battery powered, or a lot of times it's just you're competing with the old way of doing things. But there are some batteryless things that are coming out. It's definitely a topic that customers are very interested in. Everactive is unique in that we have taken the approach of a full system solution where we have removed all the problems associated with being batteryless from the customer and are just generating new data streams. So you'll find there are some applications where people have created a very specific batteryless solution for that application. There's one company I can think of that for trains, they're using the vibration of the train to generate enough energy to do something there. But in terms of a general purpose platform for industrial monitoring, the only thing that is competitive with us are components and people that have made individual components that they're selling to other people to go solve the bulk of the battery problem. Everactive is taking the approach, we make a component, but then we integrate that component with everything needed to make a sensor. And we don't stop there. We then provide the network as well as all the data management and data analytics. So what the customer is actually buying are insights coming from these assets that they previously thought they wouldn't be able to address.
I just want to pick up on one of the comments you made. You're doing this on a wireless platform, right? So cybersecurity, I know that's always a question in organizations. Any statement on that front?
It's absolutely, it has to be built in from the ground up. So we started from the very beginning with security as a key element to provide sensing, and it is with, you can imagine with our Fortune 500 companies, they're all dramatically concerned about security. So each engagement requires its own security audit. We've also gone through and received our SOC 2 certification, which just says we've created an organization that takes security as a fundamental element of everything we do, and that we fully built a solution around that. So everything is encrypted from the time the data is gathered. It's encrypted in transit, encrypted in storage. We use other techniques in the cloud to make sure that the data is both private as well as available to the end user. So yeah, security is key. Anyone that says anything else doesn't understand the end market.
Can you give us a sense as what's required in addition to committed for an year? Is there an onboarding period from Everactive to do that, or can somebody just order it, plug it on their own, create an online account to do that?
Yeah, and that's our goal, is to make it so simple that anybody can just order off the shelf and install it. Today we have a service organization through partners that we've created to work with customers. A lot of customers are installing themselves, but also installing with our support. And we've made it so that the install is simple, it's toolless, it's quick and easy to install the sensor, and then the pairing and provisioning of that sensor is similar to what you would do in your home to set up like your home security system or something like that. So it's intended to be very straightforward, but it does take time. And one of the things we find, like with steam trap monitoring, the steam system monitoring, just finding the assets is probably one of the things that takes the most time. So it's not something that just you throw up and it's magically installed. One of the things that's interesting is that we do go through, we evaluate the state of the asset at the time that we install the monitor, because it's very important for our data analytics to know, in the case of a motor, you may have the model number of that motor, but it may be operating differently because of where it's located, how hot it is, or what's going on. So you need to know that particular motor. And so there's an adaptive learning period in the analytics that we go through before we can start identifying the changes that we would send off to the customer and say, hey, there's an issue with this motor. So there is a period of learning that normally takes just a few days, and then we can start providing insights back to the customer.
All right, so I know you recently announced a partnership with Armstrong. So can you give us an insight as to what does it mean to you as an organization and to your customers?
Yeah, it's an important part of our strategy. So we're selling insights as a service directly to the end user, but we're a technology company, creating this new ability to gather data where no one else can. And the experience of the industrial assets and the industrial user really lies in the hands of other people. So Armstrong represents a great opportunity to combine someone that has 100 years plus of experience with an industrial asset and combine it with the Silicon Valley latest technology to create, the Industry 4.0. We've mentioned motors previously. There are other opportunities for us to partner with names. Actually, ABB, as one of the largest motor manufacturers in the world, is an investor in our company. So there's other great partnerships coming forward from Everactive, again, combining the best of technology, the best of industry to create this new industrial revolution.
Yeah, thanks for the insights. Any comments on the new partnership with ABB as to what the solution will be looking like?
All I can announce is that ABB is an investor at this point, so I can't say anything more. They're a great company and they've been a great partner, but there's a lot going on at ABB. There's a lot going on in the world right now, so we don't want to announce anything until it's done.
Yeah, no problem, no doubt. They've been a great partners for IoT World as well, and we continue to work with them. So look forward to the announcements from Everright. All right, thank you for joining, Bob, and we look forward to continue the progress with your new solutions.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.